Western United hunt consecutive victories for the first time this season as Melbourne Victory look to bounce back this afternoon from their first loss of the season. Good afternoon and welcome to Amy Park on Wurundjeri country here in Melbourne for the 16th Battle of the Bridge. Western United hosting Melbourne Victory. And the wash-up from Unite round left the residue of two contrasting emotions for today's combatants. Western United departed Sydney full of belief after that first win of the season. John Aloisi's young side proving their mettle once again as they came back from 1-0 down to win 3-1 against Perth. By comparison, it was frustration, the emotion for Victory, as their three-match winning run was halted by the efficiency of Wellington Phoenix. And just like it was in the Cup final, it was a tale of missed opportunities. So today, they meet in the Battle of the Bridge. Will it be Western who continue to frank that early season form, or Victory making it clear that last week was simply just a blip? Despite their win last week, John Aloisi has been forced into 3 changes. So Dylan Leonard suspended after his red card, Pasquale fractured his fibula, and Ben Garuccio has suffered a minor calf injury. But they get Imai back from a hip flexor injury. Bozanovsky and Sharmoon are promoted. Well, after that horror miss last week in Unite round, Noah Botic put it behind him to grab 3 assists, becoming the 9th player in A-League men's history to achieve that feat. Such a great test of that young man's resilience. John Aloisi was so proud of his young striker. Well, Melbourne Victory's team is quite simple by comparison after that first defeat of the season. They are unchanged, so Arzani retains his spot in the side ahead of Reno Piscopo. So too does Virgos. Bruno Fornaroli testing out the Wellington Phoenix goalkeeper Oluwayemi late on last week, but he cannot force his way into the team. Valupale remains out with an ankle injury. Brendan Hamill coming up against one of his old sides. He was a foundation player at Western United back in 2019. He played 20 matches over a couple of seasons at his former employer. John Aloisi, he was most impressed by his side's resolve to come from behind last week, but especially that growing combination of his strikers, Ibasuki and Botic, who haven't really had much time to work on that combination in pre-season due to Noah Botic's injury. Paddy Kusnorbo, he comes up against Western for the first time in Victory colours. Somewhat of a bogey side for him at Melbourne City, just 2 wins from 7, his worst winning record against any A-League side. Adam Bavkar in charge of his first match of the season, the science and maths teacher's 8th A-League men's appointment. So, all in readiness for this all-Melbourne encounter. One that Western United have the edge, 7-5 on the head-to-heads and 3 draws. So it's the 16th Battle of the Bridge. Western United looking for back-to-back wins. Victory to bounce back. And it's a very good afternoon to Roy O'Donovan. Roy, what an opportunity this presents for John Aloisi's young side against one of the competition heavyweights.
It really is, Benny. Looking forward to this game. It's it's a good matchup. Victory, trying to get back in the winner's circle. Obviously Western United fresh off a win in Unite round, so it makes for an intriguing contest.
Mishash driving forward. Has Arzani on his outside. What an early opportunity this is for Victory. Arzani straight at one of Melbourne Victory's former youth players in Matt Sutton. It was a fairly simple save. You would have hoped to do a little better.
Yeah, but it just shows you Victory. They're not messing around. Straight off a loss last week.
Now Danzaki, so chances potentially at both ends, but he just leaves that pass a little short on Tate Russell. And here come Victory again. This time it's Virgos peeling wide. Nikos Virgos looking for an opening. It sits here for Santos. And the deflection is very fortuitous for Western United. It is chaotic inside the opening 90 seconds.
Well, I think Western United are still in the dressing room. Victory are going to have a chance to capitalise from a corner here, and I think Aloisi will be pulling his hair out even after 90 seconds of this game.
So that was the first chance for Arzani. Straight into the arms of Sutton, and Kisnorbo knew what a start that would have been for his side. So in front of the North Terrace, this is an away game for Victory, so terrific turnout for them here. Arzani's hitting it deep towards Geria. Is it another corner? No, it will be a goal kick, so not quite the set piece they would have envisaged. United have been given a couple of early scares. Can they just find their rhythm here? That was a little awkward for Botic. He's back to his feet. Now it's Arzani gifting possession to Western. Shash. Turnover from both sides, and then Basuki giving away the foul. So tough for Western, the fact that they get that great win over Perth, come from 1-0 behind to win it 3-1. Ibasuki was outstanding in that win, grabbing a double, and then 3 forced changes as the flag comes up for offside. And that's not exactly what you want, Roy, off the back of a great victory. So Leonard red carded, so he's suspended. Pasquale with that fractured fibula, and Ben Garuccio. So that calf injury was not the injury that kept him out to start the season. That was a groin issue. So that's not great for the Western captain, that he's had a couple of niggles to start this new season.
No, it's not great news for Western United in general. I think he's had to reshuffle the squad. I think the positive thing is his front two. He's going really positive with 2 number 9s today, in Ibasuki and in Botic again. But yeah, some big characters missing, and as we well know, Western United haven't got the biggest squad in the A-League.
Vidmar hits his ball over the top, searching for those strikers. Yeah, chatting to John Aloisi this week about that combination. He's really happy with how they are flourishing in that final third. Botic and Ibasuki, 3 assists for Botic last week, 2 of those for Ibasuki. And the fact that they didn't get to play much in the pre-season. Victory have managed to work their way out of a tricky situation. And they profit here. Arzani. Delightful ball in front of Santos. Now Mishash. Arzani stopped initially by Danzaki. The clearance from Thurgate hit Danzaki. And Western United, well, they got it to safety for the moment, but they've still handed it back to Melbourne Victory. Teague and Boss keeping Adama Traore on the bench. Hasn't played this season. Adama Traore, thanks to the great form of Casey Boss. Thurgate pitching it back for Western. And they profit from it as Grimaldi can't find the range on his pass.
They're just struggling, Western United, they're just struggling to get hold of that ball at the moment, really take the sting out of the game. They're very cheap in possession of the ball, they're turning over in bad areas, and Victory, as of yet, haven't punished them, but you keep giving it away in dangerous areas in the midfield, you're going to get punished.
Important to note as well, this being a Western United home game, they are hoping to be able to host these matches against their Melbourne rivals at Ironbark Fields from next season. It is tough when you come into the home of your two big local rivals to play these matches. Arzani and Boss, despite his physical prowess and his fitness, he just couldn't quite catch up with that delivery.
Very unlucky though. Good build-up play from Mashash, shows his strength. Clever. Arzani, almost a no-look pass, and yeah, just a yard over hit. But again, positive signs from Victory.
Well, after that first defeat of the season last week to Wellington Phoenix, they would have come in here after a big week of training under Paddy Kisnorbo. Fired up. Don't want to record back-to-back defeats or even a draw. Expectations are sky high for this squad, one of the strongest in the competition. It's a neat delivery from Virgos, allowing Arzani to run into some space. Russell did enough to disrupt the cross. Arzani and Mashash. Mashash, magnificent! That was just beautiful to watch from Zinedine Mashash, and Melbourne Victory utterly dominant in the first 8 minutes. They deserve that lead.
Absolutely they do, and it was coming. You can't say Western United weren't warned. It's been waves of attack, so Arzani uses body ever so well, as you can see here in the Harvey Norman replay, but from there it's all Mashash. Once he gets it onto his right foot and turns on, face the goal, his power, his pace, and that finish, bang, top corner, terrific.
7 goals last season. There's the first of the new campaign from Zinedine Mashash, the Frenchman. Just powering that into the back of the net. Gee, ripped into the back of the net for a 1-0 lead for Victory.
And that'll please Kisnorbo ever so much. You know, you're talking about Rene Piscopo early on this season. He's got Bruno Fornaroli and Jing Reese on the bench, but Arzani and Mashash linking up really well here this afternoon.
Well, the warning lights are blinking for Western United. Melbourne Victory look in a mood this afternoon. Draw with the Mariners to start the season, then wins against Melbourne City in the derby, where they were just utterly dominant to start that match. And a win over MacArthur in Brisbane before that defeat last week to Wellington. Arzani with the bicycle. A little bit of good fortune almost for Virgos. And the flag has come up.
It's a good sign though. Arzani looks like he's feeling it. Mashash is in the mood. Virgos will benefit from that, and you know, as you said, in the derby against Melbourne City they were unstoppable, and they look in that kind of mood again today.
Well, doesn't that just show you the confidence of Melbourne victory. 1-0 lead, 10 minutes on the clock, and Arzani's attempting a bicycle from outside the box.
Brilliant. From a neutral point of view, that's what you want to see. And I tell you what, though, Western United, they want to wake up, because it could be a long afternoon here.
So the last 3 meetings between these two have gone all different ways. Victory, Western with a win, the most recent, a 2-2 draw back in March. It was an entertaining one. Pena put Western ahead, and then Falami and Economidi scored to make it 2-1 for Victory before Garuccio equalised. So, based on what we've seen in the past and to start this game, you can expect a few more goals in this one. Western United just have to ensure it's not one-sided. Seem for Western to break. They may get another opportunity here, but again, just a little rushed, a little frazzled. They seem at the moment, Western. Guerrero finds the pass. Arzani, the back heel. Valadon, Sutton has to push it around the corner. Well, he's trying to get his side up and about Matt Sutton, because they are paddling at the moment.
Again, Arzani and Mishash linking up. Valadon, a little bit of cleverness, and he gets the shot off. And again, Matt Sutton's been called into action, and he's been a lot busier than he probably hoped to be at this time of the game. But again, positive signs for Victory, and it's been a good game so far. I just think Western United need to really, when they get that ball, they need to reward themselves and keep a hold of it.
Arzani. Delivery just a little too deep, so a brief moment of respite for Western United. I just feel like they have to match the level of Paddy Norbo's team, who have come out of the blocks to start this game, like you would expect them to. You remember the days of Melbourne Victory under Kevin Muscat. The start of matches, they would just absolutely come out and pressurise sides. And more often than not, they would find that early goal. Russell. Boss, one touch to Arzani. Arzani clipping towards the back post into the arms of Matt Sutton. He's looking energetic. Daniel Arzani this afternoon.
Yeah, everything positive Victory have done. It's been coming through him, and as I said, he looks in a mood, and yeah, he's excitable.
And the press again from Victory brings a reward, and Arzani with a strike on goal. Another one that time, comfortable enough for Matt Sutton. We'll head downstairs to check in with Jake Parker. Jake, Melbourne Victory just irrepressible to start this game.
Without doubt. It's probably been the best 15 minutes of Melbourne Victory's season, if I'm honest. I've watched every game, and a big catalyst for it is just the movement again of Casey Boss coming up high on the left-hand side, allowing Daniel Arzani to go into the pocket there with Machach, you both alluded to it a few times. They're absolutely on their game and on the money at the moment. But I also think Western United are just making it a little bit too easy for them. The pressure's not really there, the tackling's not there, and they're giving the dangerous players of Melbourne Victory just too much time and respect, which could do them more damage in the rest of the first half here.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah, really interesting one, isn't it, Roy? You feel like Western aren't quite at the level that we'd expect from them, but Victory are just up a couple of notches, and they're not matching them at the moment. I feel like it's a bit on both of these sides at the moment. It's not quite the fact that Western are so poor. Victory are obviously outstanding. Their start to this game is putting them under pressure.
That's it. They look so disappointed from losing against the Phoenix last week, and they've got a point to prove.
Danzaki. Well, this would be a reply, and he very nearly got his head to it. Noah Botic. That would have been a significant moment for Western.
Yeah, it's unlucky. It's pretty decent delivery as well, but Jack Duncan looked pretty comfortable.
Thurgate finding their groove here, Western United. That's the thing, it only takes one moment for them to get themselves back in the game, despite how white-hot Victory have been.
And that's it, just being a little bit more positive. When they get the ball, keep it for a couple of passes and try and go more direct instead of playing backwards and into Victory's hands.
This is a bit of passage from them. They are going to earn themselves a corner. That was positive from Reece Bozanovski.
Well, it seems like that goal has given him a wake-up call, so he's only taken 15 minutes on a goal, but hopefully we have a game in our hands.
They scored from a corner last week. Dylan Leonard grabbing the equaliser for Western against Perth Glory. This is their first corner of the afternoon. It's low to the near post. Danzaki, thwarted initially by Boss. Russell. And Botic! There's the equaliser for Western United. Noah Botic, the assist king last week. He's got his first goal of the new season. And this young side, they are plucky.
And isn't he happy to open his account with a real striker's goal? So lovely delivery into the box, wasn't dealt with in the first phase by Victory, but Noah Botic, it was all about him here on the Harvey Norman replay. He spun like a proper number 9 and banged it in the back of the net. Jack Duncan, no chance. 1-1, and well and truly, game on.
Well, this is most impressive from Western United, because they, for the first 15 minutes, were nowhere in this contest. In the last few minutes, they've just managed to get into their rhythm, and Noah Botic, what a composed finish from the young striker.
And you can see that John Aloisi is so happy for him as well to open his account. He had a terrific game last week, as you said, 3 assists, but missed a pretty decent chance by his standards, but he's opened his account and he's well and truly into this season.
I think the most impressive aspect of last week was that missed chance and the way he responded. And John Aloisi said as much during the week. He said he didn't even have to have a chat to him. Well, Victory, could be another chance here. Machach scored the opener for them. They'll be a little frustrated because they'll feel like they should have had at least 2 goals in the first 15. They created that many chances. And Western have hit them at the other end. Arzani! And at the last moment, it was Vidmar with a goal-saving intervention.
Boy, they're linking up well today. Mishash and Arzani, this is great to watch, and he really is in the mood. Dancer's feet are out today, and yeah, Western United are struggling to deal with at the moment.
Well, do not go anywhere. Keep it right here on Paramount Plus. This is shaping up as an absolute classic. What a first 20 and a bit minutes at Amy Park. And there's another corner on the way for Melbourne victory.
Well, we had 8 goals last night, Brisbane Roar versus Macarthur Bulls, and this is shaping up to be a very similar pattern to the game. 2 teams having a go now. It's like a proper boxing match.
Well, how good is this 16th Battle of the Bridge? You can see there's a ball in the back of the net as well, so Victory will be hoping they can make it a second one here. Teague's delivery. Almost an Olympico for a moment. Arzani. And Sutton has to push it away from goal. It may not have been convincing, but it was effective in the end.
Unorthodox, I think is the word there, man.
As long as it doesn't go into your goal, that's what Matt Sutton will be saying. I've done my job. Paladon. Thurgate has thieved it off. Mishash and somehow wriggled his way past Santos.
That's excellent. Western United are going to need a lot more of that from Angus Thurgate and Rhys Bosanovsky, and they're really protecting their back 4 because, as we touched on, Mishash and Arzani are really in form today. And just putting the ball down the side, giving Botic something to chase. Not necessarily Ibasuki, it's not his game, but Botic can run all day. So put it down the channels and get yourself high up the pitch.
Well, it's just magnificent to see Daniel Arzani back to some of his best. Injuries and difficulties getting his body right have really cruelled him over the last few seasons after he burst onto the scene. It's so good to see him playing with the flair and confidence we saw from him a few years ago. Mishash trying to crawl with the ball. He's asking, he's pleading with the referee for a free kick. And Dan Zaki won't be able to run down that ball. Teague. First touch let Arzani down, but he made up for it. He pinched it back off Bosanovsky. Shash's pass, or he left it. Arzani, Boss. Just the speed of their movement, the one-touch football is just causing massive headaches for Western United.
Excellent, yeah. And as Jake Barker-Deish said earlier on in the game there, Boss getting up for the left-hand side is really causing all sorts of problems for the Western United shape and structure.
Well, that's the man who's been kept out by the form of Daniel Arzani, and he's playing some pretty good football as well, Reno Piscopo. Valadon, and Sutton made himself big. Their scramble has been exemplary, Western. Can they keep holding this fort intact? Boss overhits towards Santos.
Solid save. I mean, again, positive football from Victory. Forward runs, balls in behind, but 25 minutes into this game, Matt Sutton has earned his money this week.
played his youth football with Victory between 2017 and 2020. Did Matt Sutton. Spent some time then at Melbourne City, where he made his A-League men's debut, and then on to Western, which is where he's getting his big crack in this competition. Started all 6 matches to start the new campaign, ahead of Tom Hewitt-Bell. Casey Boss just using that width. Oh, this could be an issue. Oh no, and it's the shoulder as well. And he is in serious pain here, Casey Boss. And look at the way he falls here. On that right shoulder. He's back to his feet. We'll just keep an eye on him. The way he reached out in pain, maybe it was just initially a bit of discomfort, but I had some fears there.
He's grimacing a little bit. We'll see how he goes in the next minute or two, but he doesn't look too happy, does he?
There's a corner for Victory. Arzani to the back post where Hamill was stationed. And Victory can't quite believe that it's not their ball. Because Norbo can't either. To come off the head of Vidmar, it would seem. I just wonder, Roy, whether maybe Boss's shoulder popped out and then popped back in or something like that, because the way he was writhing around in pain.
Yeah, you wonder, is it an old injury or something that he's had before that he can just shake off?
Well, look at the way he's running.
Yeah.
You can see he's holding that right arm. He wants to tough it out, though.
For our sake, I hope he does.
Arzani, Mashash. And once again, it's Kane Vidmar in a key moment, able to smother Mashash's attempt on goal.
Again, these two back at it again. Lovely little football, clever football, kind of five-a-side stuff. But John Aloisi at half-time, he's going to have a word here. There's too much last-ditch defending. They really need to get a hold of this football higher up the pitch. They're way too deep.
Would like to refine those corner kicks, Arzani. A little too much power on them at the moment for his men in the middle. Outside of that, he's been so impressive. Taking on Tate Russell and beating him around the outside. Daniel Arzani. Another moment of last-ditch defending from Vidmar.
Vidmar's been excellent so far, but again, it's the Arzani show at the moment. Brilliant wing play, fronted his man up, slowed him down. You know, Tate Russell has done well not to give away a penalty there, because Arzani is tempting him.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know about this game, the action areas. Western United nearly been down the other end. That's a better corner, but there was no one in a Victory jumper attacking it. Arzani. And Virgos returns it. Daniel Arzani. Tate Russell's going to have nightmares tonight. Thinking of Daniel Arzani, he's picked the pass again. Mashash. And now with the outside of the boot, links with Teague. And it's Vidmar. Would Victory continue with this pressure? Gary's header just allows some moment. Breath for Western.
Even when they double up on Arzani at the moment, he's just in that sort of humour. Doesn't matter. You know, he's just full of confidence. Here we go.
But this is where Western have been dangerous. On the break, it's Cromaldi who was thwarted by Jason Guerrier. just going to make the point, Roy, isn't it incredible? Arzani, before the Cup, had the blow-up with his coach, Paddy Kisnorbo. Now he's playing some of his best football in years, we're seeing from him this afternoon. So his coach getting the best out of him. What a turnaround.
Well, that's part of being a good coach, you know. You've got to make the difficult decisions. And I'm sure in his own way, Paddy Kisnorbo is very stubborn and he's got his beliefs. But, you know, Arzani, in top form, is a top player at this level. And you want all your best players as happy as can be. And I think, yeah, he's backed him today ahead of Reno Piscopo. Yeah, and he's rewarding that with some good football.
Just allowed Arzani a half opportunity, and here is a free kick going the way of Western, much to the displeasure of the Victory fans.
But again, the rhythm of Western United in midfield, not making their mind up, too many touches, and that's what Victory want. The more touches you take, it gives them a chance to squeeze the pitch and pinch the ball. And when they pinch the ball and they give it to the Mishash and the Arzanis and the Burgos, they look dangerous. Western United, 1- and 2-touch football, get themselves going. Too laboured.
Well, the referee, you can see, Adam Bavkar, he's frustrated by Western delaying this restart. Some more frustration coming from the Victory fans. You can just sense they want to slow things down and slow this momentum, which Victory have had for the majority of the first half. Incredibly, though, the match is still level. Grimaldi flushes that wide.
But more like it though, Ben. You know, make your mind up, get turned, attack the space, make your mind up. You're going to have a shot, you're going to pass the ball. Think about it, do it. I think there's too much in the middle of the park, especially. Will I pass this? Will I take an extra touch? By the time that they think about it, Victory have nicked in and taken the ball off them, so that's a bit more positive.
The way they've been able to play out from the back today, Melbourne Victory has been most impressive. A slip aids Mishash, and the pass is a little heavy for Santos. Back towards Burgos, and he couldn't crane the neck to bring it down on target.
Yeah, it was nearly a costly slip from Tamaki Imai there, and Victory unable to punish. But again, Mishash, lovely ball to Santos, and he hung it up to a good area, and Burgos just couldn't get over the ball. But good play from Victory, and nearly punished there Imai for a little slip over.
1 goal in 5 matches to start the season for the former Greek youth international, Nikos Virgos, keeping Fornaroli on the bench. Valadon sees the space once again. Casey Boss was in. Seems to have recovered from that shoulder issue. Oh, Arzani again, linking with Teague, who got there in front of Sutton. They are toying with Western United at the moment, Victory. Arzani, Shamoon, nodding it away, only as far as Santos.
Look at how deep Western United are here. It just doesn't bode well. I know they're trying to hold on to the game and hold on to this scoreline, but it's like waves of attack for Victory at the moment.
Poking it over the top. Imai puts his boot through it. Flag comes up for offside. first half, which has flown by in its final 10 minutes now.
He's been excellent, Kane Vidmar, today, I think. Reading things really well, winning free kicks, last line defending, really solid stuff.
Little slip from Thurgate, but he was able to maintain his balance and feed Shamoon. See Dan Zaki making a good run there at the back post. Link with Thurgate couldn't occur. Don't forget, later tonight on Network 10, the Matildas up against Brazil, 7 o'clock on 10-10 play, and here on Paramount Plus. The second of 4 internationals over the next little bit. Chinese Taipei 2-match series coming up, starting midweek, so make sure you check out the second match of their series against Brazil. Makes for a wonderful afternoon/evening of football. Final match of round 6 in the Isuzu UTE A-League here in Melbourne. And it's Western United through Shamoon, Grimaldi, Thurgate with time. Didn't get the purchase on the drive. Shamoon linking with Grimaldi, hits the post, and that was very fortunate for Duncan, because it could have gone off his back and over the line.
Well, just goes to show you, last few minutes, they barely ventured over the halfway line. They nearly took a 2-1 lead into half-time there. Grimaldi, it's more like it, positive.
I am struggling to work out how that didn't go into the back of the net. By a cannon back off the post, it looked like that was the only destination, but somehow the spin of the ball took it over the goal line. Maybe the football gods for Melbourne Victory, who don't deserve to be behind in this game, but they could well be if they can't deal with this set piece. Shamoon. Victory have done enough. Zani. Mishash using Boss. Back towards Mishash, and it's Thurgate. The desperation on that occasion inside his 18-yard box. I'm just wondering, Roy, where this football ranks in all of the games we've seen this season in the Isuzu UTE A-League. You've watched a lot of it. I can't think of too many performances as good as we've seen from Melbourne Victory in terms of pure football. I know they're not leading, but it has just been beautiful to watch.
Beautiful, they're camping.
There's the curse.
Yeah.
I'll apologise for that, but they have been magnificent.
You've just ruined the game for everyone, Benny. The commentator's cursed there. But yeah, they're camped in Western United's half. Arzani is pulling the strings. The two fullbacks, Geria and Boss, making it difficult for Western United, pinning them back in there. It's great to watch. The only thing we haven't seen is the reward for all their great play. It's still 1-1.
And at the same time, Western United's resolve, their desperation, well, that has been equal to the football of Melbourne Victory to keep this scoreline where it is right now. Azani. And it's Vidmar linking with Russell. Now it's they who look to play it out from the back. Ibasuki earns a free kick here. That's a really good win for Western.
And they need more of that. They need to get the ball to his feet, because he doesn't move very much laterally. They need to get the ball to his feet, and just like that, either win free kicks or bring people into play.
Nasuki's done enough there. Situation for Western to build from here.
But you can see that, Benny, every time Western United do have a foray forward, it's like Melbourne Victory are waiting for the counter. As soon as they get that ball back, they're looking forward. How do I get the ball to Arzani and how quickly can I get it there?
A bit of time to get some air back in the lungs here, Western. They just do not want to give back possession to Melbourne Victory at the moment because of exactly the reason that Roy just touched on. Cheap turnovers, and Victory have just been very swift with the counter. Zinedine Mashash with the opening goal for Victory inside the first 10 minutes, and then Noah Bottage hitting back for Western United just after the quarter-hour mark. That's where we sit in this 16th Battle of the Bridge at Amy Park. Mashash, not for the first time in his half, crawling, keeping control of the ball. This time he does earn a free kick. Hunting for a mistake. They get it here. Arzani. It spills for Mashash. The drive. A little deflection it seemed, but Sutton again covering his near post. You just wonder, Roy, whether Melbourne Victory will be a little frustrated at half-time that they haven't been able to find a second goal.
Absolutely, and in the reverse opinion of that, Western United, if they get to half-time at 1-1, with what's transpired in this game, they will be buzzing.
Still a little bit of time to play out in this first half. There's another for Western United. Danzaki continuing his run, fed by Grimaldi. It was a neat build-up from the green and black. Get a throw here. Russell that time, out-muscled Arzani. And Hamill with the header away. So Tate Russell getting one back on Daniel Arzani, who's been causing him some headaches. And there's a problem.
But that's what John Aloisi will be calling for a half-time. Give Tate Russell to give Daniel Arzani a taste of his own medicine. Pin him back. Similar on the other side with Shamoun. Pin them back. Make them think about things. I think when you sit off players of this quality and let them sit in the attacking half the entire game and they don't have to defend, they've got all their energy to show you their magic.
Well, just saw a little bit of soreness for Mashash. That was a nasty one. Thurgate on the ankle, totally accidental. No intention there. He wasn't even looking at him as he was backtracking.
Two big, strong boys. He'll be fine, I'm sure.
referee just letting Melbourne Victory and Western know that I think he's going to make it 2 minutes of additional time in this first half now. So still some time here for Western. Rodic in the middle, Danzaki goes low. Miranda has a little bit of time, takes a lot of it, and will earn a goal kick.
That was clever there. He baited Iwasuki into the press and got his team now back into position to start the attack on their terms.
So a chance just to take a breath, take stock of this first half. Victory have been fairly dominant, but Western efficient. And that's where we sit in the shadows of half-time. And that is half-time at Amy Park. Zinedine Mishash with the opening goal inside the opening 10 minutes. Melbourne Victory came out in white-hot form, but not soon after. Noah Botic was able to find the equaliser. And Western United getting it back on an even keel before half-time. Half-time at Amy Park. Western United 1, Melbourne Victory 1. We have got the half-time show coming up right after the break. Hey Jake, it's Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Yep, perfect.
Hey mate, how you going?
How are you, Jake? You okay, buddy?
Yeah, good, Roy. Good call, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. You as well. So we're going to ask you a few bits and pieces about Victory's bench and can they sustain this pressure?
Okay, did you say Victory's bench or?
Yeah, just about 4 in a row.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're opening up the can of worms.
There we go. Let's do it early.
All right, about time, hey.
Hey Jake, is there anything you specifically want to touch on? Because I can angle a question.
I was probably more just, I mean, the last 5 minutes different, but the midfield more so of Western was probably the piece for them that was lacking the intensity on the other side and allowing Victory to have a bit of a run over. I was just going to touch on Arzani as well, his qualities.
Welcome to the Hungry Jacks halftime show at Amy Park, where Melbourne victory. Well, didn't they start this match in some kind of mood? Straight from the off, Daniel Arzani had a chance inside the opening 30 seconds. They had their first goal after 8 minutes, but Noah Botic pulled one back for Western. And that means at half-time, Roy O'Donovan, it is dead level. And we have got a fascinating second half on the way.
It's, as I thought before the game, Ben, it's an intriguing contest. As you touched on, victory, terrific in spells of that game without really capitalising. But the big thing, can they sustain it in the second half? And Western United will certainly be the happier going in at half-time.
I cannot not mention the Mariners fan. How good is that? Look at the commitment. He's turning up to a victory Western game, the Mariners fan in the house.
Good on you.
There you go. Well, let's have a look at the Harvey Norman highlights. And it all started in the 8th minute. Zinedine Mashasha, and wasn't it just stunning build-up from Melbourne victory?
It was outstanding. These two all day long, Arzani and Mashash link up very well. But once he got facing the goal here, the power in that shot and the venom behind it, Matt Sutton, no matter how good he's been today, had absolutely no chance. A great goal. We'll be watching that one over and over again this week.
And even after scoring that opening goal victory, they had a number of chances, couldn't finish them, and then Noah Botic was able to find his first goal of the season, and what a composed finish it was.
It was a proper striker's goal. Tate Russell with a speculative cross in the box, wasn't dealt with, but brilliant number 9 play. He got the ball under control as quick as possible and turned on a sixpence, and a great finish. Keeper can't react. And a lovely celebration. What is that one? That's outstanding.
That is a beautiful reverse angle of that goal from Noah Botic, the way he just opened up that space. So, Roy, Melbourne victory, look at that. Domination everywhere you look. And the big question is, how do they turn that into goals?
Yeah, that's the concern now. They went out quite hard in the first half. Can they sustain it? My thinking would be the likes of Bruno Fornaroli and Jing Reese to bring some energy after the hour mark. But yeah, look, just keep putting it in the wide areas. Boss staying on is another intriguing part of this game. We're also concerned about his shoulder. Can he stay in the field? Because he's been a big part of everything good that victory have done on that left-hand side.
Well, Jake Parkadash's sideline for us today. Jake, you've had the best seat in the house for this first half. Why do you sense victory had that domination in the first half?
Oh, I just feel that the Western United midfield, the likes of Thurgate, Bozanovsky, Grimaldi and Danzaki haven't really been in the game like we've seen for parts of this season. There's probably a bit of lack of aggression, allowing the likes of Arzani and Machach way too much space, way too much respect. I'd argue they're probably playing some of the victory plays into form. Just with the lack of intensity. It picked up towards the end of the first half, but Arzani, you can see why he's such a real talent, why he was taken to a World Cup so young over some great Australian players in 2018.
And Jake, you can see, you're talking about the tempo of victory and, you know, the pace of their attack and play and some of the one-touch stuff. How do they sustain that now? When do we go to the bench and see the likes of Bruno Fornaroli and Reno Piscopo and Jing Reese come on the park?
Well, it'll be interesting to that point, Roy, whether we see Bruno Fornaroli come on first. Patrick Kisnorbo's gone for Jing Reese quite a few times before Bruno, and as we know, Bruno's record in the A-League, 100 goals in his history here, 20 goals in the A-League last season. You've got to use him. I feel in a game like this, Western United really had 1 or 2 chances, and they're still in the game. Victor got to kill this one off, and the likes of Bruno Fornaroli and Reno Piscopo are going to be players that are going to help you do that.
Is that the problem at the moment, Jake, for victory, is just that clinical in front of goal? We know it was an issue for them in the cup final, and it has been the last couple of weeks.
Big time. The amount of chances they've created, the way they've played, as you mentioned, that first half was arguably Victory's best first half all season from a football point of view. The way they kept the ball, the way they moved, their structure. You see a lot of movement down the left side with Casey Boss going up. You don't see as much movement on the right-hand side. So there is a very strong strategy behind the way they play. They're just not putting the ball in the back of the net enough. And really, they should be going in the way they've been playing, 3-0 up at this point of the half.
Thanks, Jake. Looking forward to chatting in the second half.
No worries.
Yeah, big question mark, isn't it? Virgos has scored 1 goal in 5, and yet he's keeping Fornaroli out of this team at the moment, who's scored 107 goals in his A-League career. So there's the Paramount Plus Player Index. Mashash leading the way, no surprises. Sutton up there as well, and Angus Thurgate always gets through a mountain of work in the midfield. Now we're just reflecting back on the round that's been, just the 5 matches, but gee, they have lived up to the expectation. Adelaide and Perth was a cracker on Friday. 4-4 draw, Macarthur and Brisbane last night, and Western Sydney with a crucial win on the road. And Roy O'Donovan, how about this match last night at Campbelltown Stadium? A 4-4 thriller.
Proper game, Ben. Really enjoyed it. Brisbane Roar were well in control for large parts of the game. They'll be frustrated, but actually this goal from Keely Adamson just before half-time really changed. But Jake Coleman there, you can't see it. Magic bit of skill, link up with your man. Jed Drew off the bench, great delivery. Daniel De Silva, what a finish. So again, Macarthur showed a lot of character, but Brisbane Roar will be ruining not taking 3 points. But in the end, it came down to an OG from one of their better players, and Jack Hingert, the Sri Lankan international, is claiming that one. So.
Yeah, to be fair to Brisbane, they've deserved more than having a duck egg after the opening 6 rounds. So at least they got something out of that. Don't forget tonight on 10 Play, Paramount Plus on Network 10 as well. Australia and Brazil, the Matildas looking to bounce back. It's the Claire Polkinghorne farewell tour. The friendlies coming up. Wasn't that great scenes at Suncorp during the week? So don't forget that one, second match of that series between Australia and Brazil. All right, well, that has been the Hungry Jacks halftime show. We are going to be back for the second half, the final game of round 6 in the Isuzu UTE League. Can Western United cause a little bit of a stir, or will Melbourne Victory bounce back from defeat against Wellington? You're going to find out next here on Paramount Plus.
The weekly kickoff every Wednesday. All your Socceroos, Matildas and A-League action.
Perias! Oh, what a goal that is! That's a bullet into the top corner.
Plus all the best bits from the beautiful game from all around the globe. That's the weekly kickoff every Wednesday on 10 Bold and Paramount Plus.
Noah Bodic got his first Isuzu UTE A-League goal of the season in the first half as his side looks for back-to-back wins for the first time in season 20 of this competition. But it was Melbourne Victory who were most dominant in the first half. Daniel Arzani playing some of his best football we've seen from him in a number of years. But Roy O'Donovan, the issue for Victory is, despite their dominance, it's 1-1 at half-time, and they really need to make it count in the second.
Yeah, and Western United now will have had a reprieve there at half-time, a reset, and a little conversation about tactics. But I think Paddy Kisnorbo's speech would have been more of the same. You keep doing that, we're going to score goals, and I couldn't argue with that.
So in this home fixture for Western United, they get us started in the second half. Once again, this season they've shown their resolve coming from behind to get back level. They came back and won last week against Perth, but they do it again here in the Battle of the Bridge. An important to mention as well, 3 changes off the back of that win against Perth. Not something you want to be doing after your first win of the season, but John Aloisi was forced into all 3 of those changes. If you missed it, Garuccio picking up a calf issue, a minor calf issue we're told. Dylan Leonard suspended, and a fractured fibula for the very unlucky Seb Pasquale, and we wish him the very best of luck because we know of his injury issues in the past. So it's about 6 weeks to a couple of months he's on the sideline for, so hopefully he'll be back before the end of the campaign. No changes at half-time. That confirmed team news for Western United. Likewise for Victory. Lovely angle on the pass from Mishash, found Virgos. And maybe you just wonder, Roy, in that kind of situation, would it have been better for him to take the shot because Arzani was just lagging a little behind?
Yeah, you think for number 9 as well, just have that little bit of a greedy streak in you as well. Get turned, get that shot off. Just thought Arzani was a little bit too far away for that killer pass. But tactically, I have to say, Ben, I don't think Western United have changed too much. I'm just looking at Tate Russell's positioning when they have possession. Is he playing a bit higher?
Virgos, and he slots it. Nikos Virgos, a little bit of fortune at the near post, but he will take it for his second goal of the season. And he answers any kind of criticism because he puts Victory back in front.
Didn't he just? And again, I was talking about tactics, and against the run of play, not much. A little touch from Mishash, you think. Vidmar has it covered, tight angle, through Sutton's legs, and on the Harvey Norman replay, West United are finally punished by Nikos Virgos. Lovely little finish. Vidmar needs to do more there. I think he's been so good today as well, but he needs to make sure Virgos doesn't get a view on goal, but Sutton will be ever so disappointed with himself to get beat as near post through his legs. And we've got a happy camper right there.
Well, that's exactly what he wanted to start the second half. And the questions were beginning to appear for Virgos. As we touched on, just the 1 goal coming in, and he'd started 4 of the first 5. Now 5 of 6, and Bruno Fornaroli's banging on the coach's door, sitting on the bench. But he's managed to nab one there and put Victory in front. And that's all you need to do as a striker. Roy, they don't draw pictures. They just chalk them up, and he's got his second for the campaign.
You can be as rubbish as you want for 89 minutes of a game, but if you score the winning goal, you are the top man. And at this moment in time, Nikos Virgos is the top man for Victory. I gotta say as well though, Bruno Fornaroli, he can knock down the door every week. He's been one of the A-League's true great players. But I can understand Kisnorbo's thinking as well. Virgos He's a bigger unit, he runs the channel, he's a bit more mobile, and he makes the goal as well. So I can understand it as well, but you know, I wouldn't mind at time to time to see the two of them up top together.
So rather deflating for Western, and they come from behind again. He wouldn't back against them. He came from behind and have draws in their opening 2 matches, and then of course last week in Unite round, going back to win from a goal down. Coming back twice in the one game. Let's take some mental resolve. Russell's delivery falls into the lap of Jack Duncan. Really tight ankle, wasn't it, Roy? And Sutton, he will be devastated with that because his first half was most impressive.
Sutton and Vidmar, both their standout players for Western in the first half, and it was really good striker play. Looking at the positive of it, very similar to Klamala's goal last week, Patrick Klamala's goal in the Sydney derby. He used his upper body strength ever so well, and he had tunnel vision. He was only going to have a shot at goal, and he found the one little postage stamp area through Matt Sutton's legs, and yeah, it was a good finish in the end.
Santos got squeezed out of it there. Gave away the free kick. Russell, early delivery. Too much heat once again. So you just wonder how Victory approach this situation. Have looked a little more reserved since getting themselves back in front. They certainly would want to kill this game off.
Most dangerous scoreline in football. 2-1. Western United are well and truly still in this.
Ooh, a little bit painful there for Virgos. Screaming out in pain. Grabbing his elbow. Well, maybe we might see Fornaroli earlier than expected if he can't shake that off. I just wonder whether he's got hit on the funny bone by Imai. Has he got one here on the knee on the humerus?
Doesn't look that funny to me.
Arzani. Classy. Feeding Santos. And Mashash. It was Vidmar. Once again for Western United, in a key moment, has come up with a big play. Does that look goal bound?
That was terrific. Positive football again. Nice cutback. Good defending. But Victory, they're starting to find the spaces now in behind, and they're causing Western United again, like the first half, all sorts of problems.
You just wonder whether Sutton had that covered because it was bending away into that bottom corner. Slowing to a walking pace. He's got 3 Western players watching over him, and he goes down in the box. How did he manage to almost wriggle his way through there? There were 3 players in green and black shirts.
He's just teasing.
Santos. Cut out initially by Imai, now Mashash and Geria. Just saw a little opening. Angled it to Valadon. Imai shutting it off. And the flag comes up.
Really good play again though. Arzani showing us a bit of magic. Oh, he's gone down cheaply there, but he's just toying with the 3 defenders. I've heard it doubling up, but it's getting silly now. Bozanovsky, Tate Russell, and Danzaki all there.
We just wonder if he maintains his feet, is he able to continue the run? Yeah,
absolutely. Well, in the first half, he done it quite a few times, and Tate Russell done well not to give away a penalty. So
Bozanovsky had done well to sort of come across to cover, but Arzani was just using those twinkle toes. Russell. That one a little better measured, but it allowed Miranda the opportunity to cut it out.
Western United are certainly valuing possession a lot more in this half. They're trying to make a lot more forward runs, so when they do go forward, they have a lot more probability of punishing Melbourne Victory. But at the moment, Victory are pretty comfortable.
Danzaki is taken off down the right, spotted by Vidmar. And Ibasuki, the targets in the middle. Linked with Bozanovsky. Now Thurgate, Grimaldi. It all just got a little convoluted there for Western United. Bozanovsky driving the cross in off Danzaki. Botic trying to return it to Danzaki. This is a better little passage for Western. And Thurgate stopped in his tracks.
There's the issue.
Well, that was a Thurgate-esque tackle from Valadon. And on the break, Victory through Mashash. Turning Vidmar left and right. Clipping it over the head of Santos, and it skips away from him.
Just the final ball, really. But that's the issue Western United have when they commit so many bodies forward. When they don't look after the ball, Victory are just straight away on the counter-attack.
Well, he's dished out a few tackles like that. Angus Thurgate, that time it was Geordie Valadon. Excellent work in midfield. Just as Western, we're getting a little bit of momentum now. Too late was the cry from Paddy Kisnorbo. Oh, problem! Oh, Matt Sutton. He had a moment to start this second half. That would have been awful for him to concede another one in an embarrassing manner.
He's played ever so well, but he doesn't need to be giving the attackers that much of an easy chance.
And now they look a little frazzled here, Western. Bozanovsky over the sideline.
That was Western United in the first half, though, everywhere, all over the park. One touch too many, not instinctive enough.
Well pinched by Bozanovsky. Releases Danzaki, early ball, and Hamill. Hearts were in mouths here at Amy Park, especially the Victory end of the ground. But he knew what he was doing.
Did he? He done it well. He done it well in the end, to be fair. Cleared his lines, that's what he's there for. But Western United look a lot better in possession of the ball. They're certainly valuing possession a lot more, and when they do go forward, they are a lot more of a threat. And if they can get Botic and Ibisuki facing the right way in front of goal, they've got a real chance there.
You just wonder whether Duncan and Hamill will be having a chat about that little moment during the week. Duncan looked to have it all under control. It's a corner for Western, and it's Thurgate up towards Ibisuki, and Imai in the end is just able to scoop it up and over the bar. I wonder what those two are having a thought about. They've got some Arsenal on the bench, Western United. Rami Nazarene, they've got Nadovsky and Wallity as well. Such an exciting prospect. Abel Wallity there, number 20 for Western. Always entertaining when he comes onto the field. He's a player that can get them back into this game. We're into that final half hour now. Coach is starting to think about how they can change up this one.
Yeah, certainly getting to that point. And is John Aloisi going to be proactive and make the substitution before victory expected and get Wallity into the game? Even Michael Roos, Rami Nazarene are all players that can change this game for them. So
yeah, Michael Roos, an interesting one. He hasn't played this season, and that's just been a selection decision. 4 goals for him last season, yet to get an opportunity this campaign. Russell's delivery. This could be an opportunity for Grimaldi, and the deflection fortuitous for victory. And Casey Boss.
well, this is more like it from Western United now. They're starting to play more in Melbourne Victory's half. They're playing front foot football, and they're causing them a little bit of issues when they go into wide areas, especially. So it's a much more even game in this half.
Thurgate looking for that run at the penalty spot.
Great forward run from Thurgate, though. It's very hard to mark that from a defensive midfielder when he goes beyond like that. He was looking for the cutback. There just was unfortunately nobody there.
So Arthur Dilly's just having a chat to Reno Piscopo. Those two actually previously worked together at the Jets. Dilly's the assistant to Arthur Pappas a couple of seasons ago when Piscopo was there. And Ozanovsky emerges with possession. And they earn the whistle eventually. So you just sense that Atticus Norbo wanting to add a little bit more spark to this game. It was like they've gone a little flat for his side. They've gone up 2-1. Danzaki, Ibisuki looked to be a handball from the striker. So probably wouldn't have counted had he scored.
Good stuff though, again, getting him and Botic in the box, that's a real outlet for Western United.
And Bruno Fornaroli is being ready to come into this game and try and finish it for Melbourne Victory. Looking for that 4th win of the season, trying to keep pace with Auckland FC, who are breaking away at the top of the table. 5 wins from 5. This is Victory's 6th match, so 4 victories they would have if they claim the 3 points here with a draw and a loss. Up to 13 points. Arzani. Provided by Fergus, but on that occasion it was Melbourne Victory who just dallied in possession. Thurgate hasn't taken off his toes by the retreating striker in Burgos. The pace not quite what we saw from Victory in the first half, Roy, is it in the second?
Definitely not, and that's why I think Paddy Kisnorbo has been proactive and he's going to his bench with the likes of Fornaroli and Piscopo, because they can bring the tempo and the levels up quite a few notches.
Iwasuki, well cushioned by Danzaki. And Miranda came through for Victory. Just getting in each other's way there. Western who've had a good little patch here. They turn it into something on the scoreboard.
I've got to say though, it's a huge credit to Western United that they've come out in this second half, and it's a different game completely. They're playing a lot more front foot football. They're a lot more positive. Even this one here, trying to go forward. And Paddy Kisnorbo can feel it. He's not a bit comfortable at 2-1, and he needs to make these changes. Here we go.
So enter Bruno Fornaroli and Reno Piscopo. So no surprises. The straight swap for both of them. So Burgos off. Fornaroli comes on. Zani departing the scene, and Piscopo in his place. What a bench that Paddy Kisnorbo has at his disposal.
An embarrassment of riches. I'm sure most clubs in the A-League would kill for that. One of those players. Again, we see the goal again. He took it really well, Burgos. Really strong. Number 9 play. Bounced off Vidmar and slaughtered it through Sam Sutton's legs. Fornaroli now. We'll be saying, anything you can do, I can do better.
So just his third appearance of the season, and you can hear what the Victory fans are saying. They massively appreciate Bruno Fornaroli, who scored 25 goals in 47 previous appearances for Melbourne Victory in this competition. He's got 107 in the Isuzu UTE League. 108 can put this one almost out of sight.
He's a great player, and he's one for neutrals that you want to watch. His hold-up play for young kids at home, his hold-up play is some of the best in the A-League. As I touched on earlier on in the game, he's not the most mobile, but he can score a goal, he can bring others into play. And Rene Piscopo, arguably, has been the form player in the early rounds of the A-League this year, so looking forward to watching him for these 20-odd minutes now as well.
About that goal he scored earlier in the season. Absolute special from Reno Piscopo in round 3 against MacArthur. And he had a really stilted period at Newcastle. Calf and groin injuries really hampered his time there. We're seeing him back to some of his best football. He played at Wellington Phoenix, where he really captured the attention. Nipping in. Works out fatigue to Valadon. Just over the top for Bruno. What an impact. Straight onto the field. Straight onto the score sheet for Bruno.
And he says to Nikos Vorgos, anything you can do, I can do better. We should have set a stopwatch. What was that? 2 minutes? Not even? But just great striker play. Pulled on the outside shoulder. I think it was of Kane Vidmar. And he waited for that diag. And a good first touch. And here we see it here now. Valadon, lovely diag, lovely movement. He's well and truly onside. Vidmar got suckered in. One touch. Get long from his body. And you know the rest of the script in the Harvey Norman replay here. Bruno Fornaroli does what Bruno Fornaroli does. score goals and give fans lots and lots of pleasure.
He is a killer finisher. Bruno Fornaroli, number 108 in his A-League men's career. Me again.
Why always me? But a great player, great goal scorer. And we talked about it, the embarrassment of riches that Melbourne Victory have, and it bodes well for their season. And, you know, they can really go on now and win the game. Western United, that will break their spirit, I feel.
So Wallity has been thrust into the game by John Aloisi. Now with a 2-goal deficit, they were going to make that sub anyway. And now it's become even more important for them to add some spark here with a 2-goal margin. They're going to have to pull back. Matt Grimaldi, the man withdrawn. And Bruno, he's sniffing a second. He's thinking Virgos has got 2 for the season. Oh, I can grab another one here and we can be level.
And you know, Ben, sometimes as an attacking player, competition, you know, sometimes it's just a sentence that a coach says to keep everybody happy, but it can bring the best out of you. You know, he's got a point to prove, which he probably hasn't had in a while in the A-League, and he's proved it there, and he's going to want to really underline it in this last 20 minutes.
He just looks hungry, doesn't he? Bruno Fornaroli, you can see the energy coming onto the field.
He looks hungry, he looks fit, and he's giving his team a lift.
Well, Castorbo's almost caught one in the head there. How about the reaction from Lockie Keevers as well? Fourth official as Thurgate's ball towards Ibasuki and Hamill over the sideline. We'll check in a moment with Jake. Look at Lockie Keevers, he's still cracking up. He's trying to hide it, he sees he's on the camera. Oh my word. Well, he got cleaned up by Lucas Moragas in the first game of the season for Snorbo, and he's almost been cleaned up by the... Whew.
If you didn't know it was a football, you could have thought it was one of the seagulls down at Amy Park.
Well, Jake Barker-Dage is on the sideline. Jake, did you get hit by that football, or did you manage to dodge it as well?
Oh, mate, we are still chuckling down here at that one. That was an absolute bullet that if Paddy Kisnorbe didn't turn around at that time, that might have sconed him in the head. So, yeah, that was a hilarious close call down here. But just on the game, substitution before with Daniel Arzani, that substitution for Piscopo was actually supposed to be Clarice Mario Santos. And for whatever reason, the 5 minutes they were standing here, the ball didn't go out. And Patrick Kisnorbe just saw a reason to change that change last minute. Might have seen some fatigue in Arzani. So Piscopo on, Fornaroli already impacting. Victory now looking to stabilise the game, which they are doing very well.
And Jake, I want to ask you, so Abel Wallity has come on for Western United. How long before we see maybe Rami Najarine or Michael Roos, in your opinion? Can you see any movement down in that bench?
We're starting to see the movement. I think the feeling is they've got to roll the dice here and they've got to have a go. All the players on the bench are warming up, and Rami Najarine is just actually running this way now with some intensity. So we might see him very soon there, Roy.
Thanks, Jake. So here's Bruno's first real involvement in this match. Straight after coming off the bench.
And that's all top players need, Ben. They just need a sniff. You give him a sniff and he'll give you a go. And he's been consistently a good player across 7-8 years in the A-League now. And again, even at 37 years old, he's still great to watch and he's still got it.
Boss is going to have a change of jumper here. Just getting that jersey switched over now. And Western United with a set piece. Find some kind of unlikely route back into this one.
Well, good delivery here now. It's a very vital time in the game. They've got some big timber in the box. Ibasuki, Botic still on the park. Imai making a late run at it. So good delivery here. Could give them something to hang on to in the game.
quality, great shape on it. And Victory do enough.
It was good delivery. It was a good area.
But the flags come up for offside, so they're not going to get a corner. It was lovely shape, wasn't it? From Quality, who's come off the bench in every match this season. I mentioned previously, he actually spent some time in Denmark in the lower divisions before coming back to Australia. So Michael Roos is going to make his first appearance of the season with Rami Nazarene, who's going to add some pace and some skill from Nazarene. He can really cause some havoc.
I'm surprised by Botic coming off. I thought it would have been Ibuzuki. I just thought a bit more mobile. Roos and Botic running the line, and Nazarene a bit more impetus going forward. But yeah, it's a change that needs to make regardless of who came off.
Well, Nazarene, he's got over that quad injury. Second appearance for him this season. And our Western fans, I want to see some of that promise that he showed in his early days coming through. As Mashash goes to ground again, we saw a little earlier his ankle got trodden on by Angus Thurgate, so there's a little ginger in that area.
Yeah, loose ball there, and Imai done a great defensive job there. He took the ball, the man, and everything in between.
So this is what the current scoreline means for the live ladder. Melbourne Victory would close the gap to 2 points to Auckland, who of course have only played those 5 matches. Western United towards the bottom as the free kick is safely grabbed by Matt Sutton, who's looking for the release, but he's got no one to find. No way past Santos. Just having a look, Roy, a little bit of statistical checking on the run. The last time Victory scored 4 goals, December 2023, in a 4-3 win over Western Sydney. That was in an A-League match against A-League opposition. They have done so in the Cup. Last time in this competition.
Well, they've got plenty of time, and they're freshening things up again. So yeah, they're not resting on their laurels, Ben.
And plenty of time and plenty of arsenal. Fabian Monge coming on. Jing Reese and Mashash, who's been a little in the wars in this second half. Didn't he thrill us with this goal in the first 10?
Terrific goal. He took that in such a tight area, and as soon as he was facing the goal, instinctively he was just putting as much purchase on the ball as possible. And what a goal. We'll be watching it all week. And he's been pretty good today, pretty impressive. Mashash, he got kicked around the place, but he was good value for my money.
Piscopo kept it moving, Fauna rolling. Jing Reese, so the speed returning here, the play from Melbourne Victory. Piscopo bearing down on goal, and it's stopped by Sutton. The slip helps Jing Reese now. And it will be a corner for Victory. So these changes, all of a sudden the electricity is back for Melbourne Victory. That
deserved the goal for such beautiful football. The 3 subs linking up. Fornaroli, as we spoke about, great hold-up play. Jing Reese and Reno Piscopo, good forward run. And you know what? All that deserved was a good finish, and Matt Sutton done what he's done most of the day and kept it out.
delivery. Straight over the head of one of the tallest men in that box, Isuzu. Piscopo. It's tough for Fornaroli. Not known for his pace.
No, he's not. But he tried to make the run. He's on the hunt for more goals, and he seems to have a good awareness with Piscopo. They seem to dovetail quite well. But you got to say, you're looking at that league table. Melbourne Victory are dangerous this year for me. They're playing some decent stuff. They've had a few different challenges today, and they've overcome them. But just their squad, the strength and depth they have. Fornaroli, Renaud Piscopo, Neshan Velupale to come back. It's unbelievable.
So we just saw Jordan Lawton coming into the game, his first appearance of the season, just his second Isuzu UTE A-League men's appearance. You may remember the name. He actually became the 4,000th player to feature in men's National League football since the NSL began back in 1977, back in February when he debuted for Western. That was all credit to Andy Howe, who has all of the players in his database. You may remember his older brother Brandon actually played 24 matches for Melbourne Victory between 2019 and 2021. Now Jordan on the opposite side. Remember that the Matildas are coming up tonight, 7 p.m. on Network 10, right here on Paramount Plus and 10 Play. Looking to bounce back from defeat on Thursday. So make sure you tune in for the second match of that series against Brazil. Fornaroli looking for Jing Rees. Shamoon cut it out, and now Lawton. Working with Vidmar. Sense at the moment for Western United, it is all about damage limitation, because Melbourne Victory look hungry for a fourth and maybe more, and there is still so much time left in this game.
We're just looking at Western United now, and they've run their race. They've put so much energy, especially in that first half, at keeping Melbourne Victory at bay, and Melbourne Victory are like sniffing, or they're smelling blood, I should say. They want more.
Just looking ahead, intrigued to see when Melbourne Victory are taking on Auckland FC, because that is already shaping as a mouth-watering contest. Well, you're going to have to wait till the new year, New Year's Day, in fact. Auckland against Melbourne Victory, 1st of January 2025. Get the popcorn ready. That one is going to be an absolute cracker. You really can see those two as two of the top sides in this competition at the moment, based on the football they're playing. Of course, Wellington also in that conversation. Adelaide United in that top 4 as it stands, but Victory just seem today to have gone to another level.
Yeah, they have, as we touched on, just their squad in itself. You know, you can have all the Galacticos you want, it doesn't mean anything, but they look like they're a team, and they look like even the players that come off the bench, they're hungry, they've got a point to prove. I should be starting, and it's certainly proved the case today.
You sense that buy-in, don't you, under the new manager, Paddy Kisnorbo?
I don't think he'd have it any other way. And even, look at this, Velupale as well to come back, how well he started the season. Again, I keep saying it, but they've got so much quality in reserve, and that's the dangerous part as the season goes on. I'm not sure many A-League teams have the strength and depth that Melbourne Victory have.
Tate Russell hooking it towards Isuzu, and Nazarene was making a late run at the back post. They do earn themselves a corner. 2-0 lead, I should say a 2-goal lead, is very dangerous.
It's a good ball by Tate Russell, and if anything, Nazarene gives Isuzu a shout. He might have had a tap in at the back stick there, even though not many strikers leave it at the back stick, but Ben.
Vidmar connecting at the back post, but it was all too hard from that kind of angle. And so the margin remains. They've had their moments today, Western United, but Melbourne Victory have just shown their class today.
You know, Western United certainly proved a lot more of a challenging opponent early on in the second half, and it wasn't until Paddy Kisnorbo went to his bench that we saw that real quality shine through once again. And as you said, Victory. They'll be.
Thurgate's come from an almighty height there, stretching out that back. Paramount Plus player index being led by the now substituted Mishash. Virgos for the goal, he's also up there. Angus Thurgate, the only Western United player in the top 5. Those top 3 all attacking players for Victory. You can understand why they're in that position after what we've seen them produce today.
Angus Thurgate is doing very well to be in that list. The amount of work he had to go through, but it was like the Red Arrows at times. You had Arzani, you had Mishash, you had Virgos, and he had to protect his back 4 and still do his job going forward.
Terrific scramble from Casey Boss, who is grabbing that shoulder once again. So it is obviously not quite right for Casey Boss. He's certainly tweaked something in that first half. My theory is potentially he might have popped out and then back in, based on the pain that we saw him in. We'll wait and hear from the Victory medical team, and no doubt will assess him. Reese, just out-muscled there by Imai. Thurgate and Nazarene using Roos. Miranda smartly earning possession back for Victory. Fornaroli on the way through. There's a bit of experience for you.
It's a good striker player there.
The youngster coming across, and he hits the deck in a flurry.
Absolutely, and he made a nice loud noise as he was going down as well, and the clock is still ticking. Good defending by Imai there. He did nothing wrong. He read Jean Reese's card and he marked it.
Well, you just wonder in the wash-up of this game, 3-1 looks comfortable for Victory. That moment after half-time, Virgos' strike at the near post. Sutton, let's be honest, he will say, I should have done better. Big moment in this game, massive moment. Since then, Victory have been able just to sit off a little more. They grabbed that second for that 2-goal advantage thanks to the goal from Bruno. That's where it sits at the moment, but how things could have been a little different.
No, definitely the scoreline could have certainly flattered Melbourne Victory early on in the second half, but for the majority of this game they've been really good value.
Delivery bounces up to Iwasuki. Roos getting himself about. Well, that's football, isn't it? Melbourne Victory, you would say, were better in the first half than in the second. In the first, they only scored the 1 goal. In the second, they've grabbed a couple. So sometimes that's the way the wheel turns. Quality.
Certainly more efficient, I think, in the second half, and the way they went about their business, the way they emptied their bench at the right time. And, you know, that's the concern I have for Western United now, the amount of big players that they have missing, and their squad isn't the biggest. The Pasquales, the Garuccios, the Donachys, these are big players for Western United. And then you look in, you know, in the other direction at Victory, and their bench is stacked. So it means a hell of a lot over the course of the season.
Still asking so much of his side, wanting him to go right till the bitter end here. So they play Perth Glory at home next week. The warning lights are certainly all over that game for Perth Glory after what we've seen from Victory today, but you know what can happen. Side that's top of the pops, close to it. Oh, and Fornaroli has gone to Shamoon there. Or wouldn't have tickled.
Shamoon, show no weakness. I like it.
Nazarene clipping it for Michael Roos. And he's given away a free kick. Just a little too eager there on Geria. And the Socceroo. Well, he played that situation very intelligently.
It's a clever ball by Nazarene. Good run from Roos. First part of the move done really well, but maybe it's a bit of ring rustiness there, and he's trying to do too much.
Just still noticing Casey Boss just rolling over that right shoulder of his. Snorbo was giving him a little bit of instruction.
I think, though, they had Adama Traore on the bench with all his experience. Surely that was a substitution that could have been made quite easily. So you'd have to think that, like you said, maybe just popped out of position.
Maybe a late chance here for Western. And Roos has run into a brick wall in the form of Miranda. There's time slipping away now for Western United. Lawton and Nazarene and Shamoon almost just look to have run out of gas. He's done so much work down that left-hand side. Filling in once again for Garuccio. Good strength from Lawton, and Roos draws a good save from Jack Duncan.
It was a good save. But Michael Roos, positive football from him. You know, he's had a couple of glimpses the last couple of minutes and has looked ring rusty. But that's more like it from him. Instinctive, not thinking about things too much, and as the slogan says, just do it.
Nazarene bending it. Duncan with the punch. And Thurgate, bit of a miscommunication with Tate Russell, and Monge was almost able to take full advantage. It's a throw here for the green and black, and now Shamoon. Shut off by Miranda. Still going right until the end, Angus Thurgate. Never see any different. But it's Melbourne Victory, who are bouncing back from their first defeat of the season. There is a reason why they are one of the competition favourites. They keep in touch with the competition's pace setters, Auckland FC. Bruno Fornaroli giving Melbourne Victory that 2-goal buffer in the second half with his first goal of the season, immediately after coming onto the field for Paddy Kisnorbo. Western United unable to back up their first win of the season last week in Unite round. Handshakes all round, but it's Melbourne Victory who win the 16th Battle of the Bridge. They came out of the gates firing. Western pegged them back. The 2 goals in the second half means it's Western United 1, Melbourne Victory 3. Two former Jets teammates there, Duncan and Thurgay, exchanging pleasantries as we have a look now at the Alex Tobin medal. Roy O'Donovan, Arzani, he was irrepressible. Zinedine Mashash as well was top draw for Melbourne victory.
The two of those deserved it for their first hour of football. Arzani looks like he's back to his best, and Matt Sutton kept his team in it for large parts of that first half. He'll feel a little bit aggrieved about Nikos Vorgos getting one through his legs, but overall he had a really solid outing as well. But exciting for victory, Arzani and Mashash on form.
Well, let's hear now from the player of the match. He's with Jake.
Oh, the dancing feet of Daniel Arzani were evident today. Daniel, for you, just getting back into form, it's been a bit of a riff-raff with you in and out of the team, but your actual form and positivity shone like a light today.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. You know, it's obviously hard when you're going in and out of the team, but I think the last 2 weeks getting a little bit of consistency and trying to adapt to the new style of play, it's very different. I'm playing kind of a different role, more inside, but I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, I'm loving it.
The Victory fans, I think, most excited seeing you and Isuzu Mashash today, that combination. How exciting and how fun is that for you as a player to have another player of that quality with you on the field at the same time?
We were actually just speaking about it on the bench. We both really, I love him off the field, I love him on the field. He's a good friend of mine, but on the field I just enjoy playing with him. You know, we're on the same wavelength. We like doing those little 1-2s around the box, and with me playing inside, I'm even closer to him, so we can link up even better. And yeah, it's really a joy for me to be able to play alongside such a player. He's got so much quality. You saw that finish at the end there. He gave me a little assist just from a little 1 metre pass, so I'm buzzing with it.
Yeah. And the atmosphere just of the team, obviously a lot of results in Victory's favour. You had a loss last week, but the bounce back today, it seems like everything's going quite well for the club.
Yeah, it's all going really well. You know, obviously disappointed with last week, especially with the way we dominated the game, but I think looking forward, you can see that if we just focus on the process, the results will follow.
And you just off the field, what are the things that you work on to get yourself back into form, to get yourself back in the team? Obviously performances like today is what everyone comes to see.
Yeah, I think just staying as professional as possible, you know, focusing on the day-to-day stuff, you know, not thinking too far ahead, because then you can get inside your own head a little bit as well, which I've done in the past, just focusing on the day-to-day, working hard in training and sleeping well, eating well, that's it.
4 nights like seeing Daniel play like this is always good for the A-League guys.
Thanks, Jake. Pretty simple, isn't it, for Daniel Arzani there? That's some great advice for any youngsters watching. We are going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back to wrap things up here on Paramount Plus as Melbourne Victory nab their 4th win of the season.
You're